That's Coach Joe Dix, everybody. He is the head boys basketball coach at Collins Hill High School in Georgia. He is going to get our mind wrapped around the full court press. Today's topic, by sharing with you guys some of what he has done throughout his incredibly successful career. He was recommended by Coach Cabral Huff. You might remember Coach Cabral Huff because he was our speaker a couple of weeks ago. He calls Coach Joe Dix Mr. Press Off the Bus because he's so good at what he does and he presses constantly. But he just recently finished 22 years coaching at East Hall High School in Georgia. He was the head coach there the last 14 years he was there. Big-time success when he was there. He's 309 wins, 112 losses. That was his record at East Hall High School as the head coach. He won 3 state championships in both his time as an assistant coach and head coach there. Runner-up state champs a couple of other times. They reached the state playoffs in 13 of the 14 years he was the head coach. And Coach Dix has mastered the art of the run and jump man-to-man full court press. Floor is all yours, man. You got about 10 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. First of all, thank you for having me. Appreciate my man Cabral recommending me. I love talking basketball, and so I didn't know this existed. So I've got a Friday thing now. I'm excited about it. So want to talk to you a little bit about our press and kind of what we do. And y'all know my name, so that's my contact info right now. So if you want to write it down, and I'll put that back up there at the end. But if you want to get in touch with me, I do have video. I'm not going to show today, but I have video that goes along with this that you can. I can send you clips of us playing this at East Hall and at Collins Hill at both schools. So feel free to. All right, and that's my coaching philosophy. We believe in sharing the ball. Last year we had 9 guys score more than 15 points in a game. So we really try to get the ball moving and get different guys involved. We call it playing a beautiful game. One of the best videos you can show your kids, if you'll go on YouTube and type in San Antonio Spurs beautiful game, they've got 2 6 or 7 minute videos just talking about how they play, why they play that way. They're embracing style of play, their tempo, and all the things that go with that. You'll hear that term maximum effort. We're going to play like your hair is on fire. And that's what we tell our guys. We want to be the tougher team, especially down the stretch. We want to be the team that no one wants to play, okay? We want to make the other team uncomfortable. We believe in developing our players' skills and pressure offense and pressure defense. That's our team. And I put on there, make sure they match, because it is very difficult for you to press and do that on one end and then not play fast on the other end. The kids have a tendency not to buy in when that happens. All right. We gave it a name, 32 minutes of organized chaos. So that's what we call that. We made that a hashtag on Twitter. So our kids have embraced that. We put it on T-shirts, everything, so they know that's who we are. Okay. And this is our series. And like I said, I won't be able to get it all the way into this, but I'll just show you some of our stuff that we believe in. All right. First thing is, why do we do it? It gives us the best chance to win, we believe. It provides us an opportunity for easy scores. You know, I mean, I'm not going to have anything that Cabral Huff hadn't seen in his time as a basketball coach that we're going to run. So we believe in trying to create easy scores without having to set our offense up. It allows us to play 10 or 12 guys. I'm not very comfortable playing 6 guys. I know guys who do it, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, each coach his own. But for me, I want to play 10 or 12 guys because I want to be able to I want to have a situation where if there's foul trouble or injury, that we're still able to continue to do what we do. Now, that 10 to 12 guys means I'm committed to playing a lot of people early. You know, you can't say, well, I'm going to play 10 or 12 guys and then you play 6, and then come playoff time, you're not able to have those guys playing. Helps negate our lack of size. We're small. We don't have a player in our program over 6'4" right now, which is in 7A basketball in the state of Georgia is small. And then our players enjoy playing. That's our style. It's our identity. They know that's who we are. Now, these are our half-court defensive rules, and I think your half-court rules have to kind of match your full-court stuff. So there you see those are our rules. Apply good ball pressure. We never allow the ball to go to the middle of the floor. We're going to contest every shot. We always give good help. Even more important than that, we always help the helper, because there's nothing worse than your guy steps and helps, and then somebody throws for a bounce pass for a layup because you've got some young man or young lady on the weak side not moving. Okay, we draw charges. We preach it, teach it. We teach them how to draw them, and that's really important to us. We'll show you what we do on that. Okay, possession ain't over till we rebound. Okay, and you'll hear us say this often in our practices: Leo, Leo, Leo. That's loud, early, often communication. This is just a few numbers to back our style of play. And you see the two at the top are the ones that we really concentrate on: winning the turnover battle and then scoring points off of turnovers. And you see we nearly doubled our opponents. So and the last one at the bottom, back-to-back charge, setting the charge record for our school. This is up in our locker room. This is a charge wall. And what I use a HyperSnap link on your computer, and I take a picture of every kid drawing a charge. I put his name and the date he took, and I put that on the wall in our locker room. That's the only thing we keep up with that's on anything in our locker room is this. Okay, and they take pride in this. Okay, and we had a young man this year, football player. He's committed to Florida State to play football, but he drew 29 charges, set a school record. Our group is drew 91. So that charge wall is really, really important to us. All right, and here's some of our pressure stuff, and I can send this to you all. The ones I would say are key. Number one, obviously, defense daily develops defense. So we're going to teach press every day. Number 7, okay, every second is equal to 25 feet in the press. So when the ball moves, okay, and we tell our guys, number 3 and 7 go together. If the ball moves and you don't, you're wrong. Okay, every second is equal to 25 feet in the press. We don't want to foul. Number 10 is important. Number 12 is important. Look for back tips and air charges. Okay. Once you commit to the run and jump, you got to stay committed to controlling the dribbler. Okay. And like I said, I can send you guys this. The last 3 right there: lob passes or loose balls. Play harder than your opponent. It is a must that you're giving maximum effort in this, and you got to believe in your style. I heard a pressing coach say one time, you almost have to be arrogant about it. You have to kind of believe you can press everybody, regardless of the situation, regardless of the opponent. We don't pick and choose who we're going to press. We may make adjustments based on who we're playing, but we're going to press everybody. And this is just how we match up. We don't use the number system. Really, you see with players denying, and as far as that's just the number of players denying. It's not even, we don't have a 1-man, 2-man, 3-man anymore. All right, and the first number in our 45 series indicates the length of the court we're pressing, and then the second number indicates whether it's straight man or run and jump. Okay, so example 45 would be full court run and jump. 25 would be half court run and jump. And here's a few pictures of what it looks like. Like this is our full court 45 run and jump. Okay. And we take the shape of your press break. All right. And there's two different press breaks right there. And you see we've taken the shape of both of them. We have a safety involved here, right above the 3-point line on one picture and right at the free throw line on the other picture. Okay. Here's another one. All right, this is 45 balls. So we take that safety man and put him on the ball, or we double a good player. Okay, and here's ball. So now we've got that guy on the ball, and here's double. The reason we're doubling number 11 right there is because he was a region player of the year, really good guard, wound up playing in college, and we wanted to try to make it as difficult as we could for him to have the ball. So we took that safety and put him on behind him and didn't allow him to receive the ball, forcing it to go to somebody else. We feel like we can dictate that. All right, and this is 35. Okay, and like I said, we can press from anywhere on the floor, and here's a out of bounds on the side. So once again, you see our safety is near half court, number 22, and the other guys are in full deny, and he's going to start cheating up to try to make a play. Okay. All right. Here is 25. All right. And all we did was we're looking for the jumping opportunities. You see number 10 in white. He's about to go jump the ball right there. He's in great position, and he's about to go attack the ball. All right, here's 15, and once again, same thing. We're just in the quarter court. So any one is quarter court, any two is half court, any three is 3/4 court, and any number with the 4 at the beginning is our full court stuff. All right, and if we go 40, which is our straight man, and we're not looking to really run and jump out of this. The first number, once again, indicates the length of the floor where we began to defend. All right. Second number tells us we're in straight man-to-man, so no safety. All right, so 40 would be full court man-to-man, 20 would be half court man-to-man. All right, now I love this picture, okay? This is 40, okay? So the 1-4 alignment they're in, we don't want to necessarily get beat long on any of those guys going. So the guy who's got the inbound man steps, you see he's back at the 25-foot line, just above it, and he is going to communicate with those guys if anybody goes long. As soon as the ball comes in, then we're up man. So that's what 40 would look like right there. All right, here's 30. And we're like, once again, we're just matched up. The 3/4 court man. And here's 20. All right. And once again, you see everybody's got a man. We're cheating a little bit. The kid in the middle. And then of course 10 would be just our quarter court man to man. Once again, all of these, the rules are the same. We're no middle penetration. We're applying good ball pressure. Okay. And there we are again. One of the things we don't give up ever is the sideline inbounds pass from right here. We're going to try to steal or deny that pass. You know, sometimes when guys are playing half court man, they just allow you to throw it in and they match up. Well, even if we're in 10, we're still going to deny that sideline pass. You'd be shocked at how many steals you get by just denying, because guys get a little sloppy on the sideline sometimes. 2 years ago, or I take that back, it's been longer than 2 years. It's been about 5 years now. We added some zone press stuff, and it's just real 1-2-1-1. And like I said, the rules are as they would be for any 1-2-1-1. It just gave us a different look. We had a little bit of length that particular year, and we had a kid about 6'8" that went to Memphis, and we could move him around on the head of the press and in the back. So we started zone pressing. So, and once again, we take that And we do the same thing with the numbers. So 34 would be 3/4 court, 1-2-1-1. And there it is. All right. So they're taking it on the side and we're in it. 24 would be the same.
I got one question for you, Coach.
Yeah.
What? Just everybody has their own terminology, but what's the difference for you as far as half court and quarter court? What is the difference between that for your press or for your, just defensive mindset?
Just the first number. The first number, if it's 1, we're quarter court. If it's 2, we're half court. We're going to our defensive principles will be the same. If we were guarding a guy, picking him up at half court, we still try to take away the middle, ball pressure him. And if we met him at the 3-point line, we still do the same thing.
But really, it kind of ball pickup point regardless?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Appreciate you, Coach.
All right.
Coach.
Yes.
I have a question about, you're talking about running and jumping in the quarter court, on like a baseline out of bounds. Can you further elaborate on like your rules for that and what kind of things you do in that situation?
Yeah, the rules are still the same as in the full court. All right, so if they're in 4 out, 1 in, or it might look like that, and they start dribbling here, then we would rotate this guy and jump him as we normally would. We'd have a little rotation right there. We got 2 types of jumps, and I really didn't get a chance to get into that. It's a vertical and a horizontal jump, and we got a couple of breakdown drills that we do every day to teach that, and that's kind of the way we do that.
Okay. All right, so it's kind of similar to what you do in the half court.
Right. Now, one thing we do change a little bit is we will do a little more trapping in the half court. We will have team call a play, and then they want to get into whatever set, and we call it a scramble, and we'll just go attack the ball with 2 guys and really try to take them out of whatever they're trying to run right there. And our rule is that once the ball's thrown out of that scramble, then the 2 guys who were in the scramble run back to the rim because that's more than likely where the ball's going.
Coach Diggs, you mentioned that you press to dictate X amount of shots, like for your team that you want to get. Do you have a sweet number like that provides you with W's?
No, we just want to try to create as many possessions as possible. This past year we averaged 79 possessions a game, so that was a great number for us. Our goal will be to try to get that over 80 this year, but not necessarily a certain number of shots. The shots will come if we're creating the more possessions.
Hey, Coach, I got an interesting question here. What will keep you from pressing? What will take you out of your pressing philosophy? If
I'm not at the game, yeah, that's the only way. We have to. For me to teach it and for them to be a part of it. And I see my former assistant Jarvis Davenport is on here, and he's laughing right now because he knows that to be true. We're gonna press everybody, no matter every time. And once again, I think with what we do, if we don't do that, if we start picking and choosing and saying, well, we're gonna press this guy, but we're not gonna press this guy, then I think that starts to raise the doubt in their mind as to the buy-in, as to is this what we should be doing. So in my time, I have never, once we've played it, we've played it. Now this past year, we pressed until we were up 35. That's the number. That's the magic number. And then other than that, that's all we're going to do. And we're going to play straight man. We did not play a single possession of zone defense this entire year. We went back and checked. We never played zone. We played straight man after we ran and jump or we zone pressed or whatever it may be in the full court. But everything we did was predicated around that.
when you do press and you get a turnover or what have you, do you control that aspect after the turnover? Like, hey, we want you to push it and try to go get a layup, or do you build that into your team? Like, hey, we're trying to get points off of our defense.
Yeah.
Can you explain
You
your
know,
philosophy on that?
I'm gonna yell at them if they don't try to go score. We steal it. We wanna try to hurry up and get down there and get a layup or an open three, or I mean, sometimes I'll yell at them, hey, well, why haven't we shot the ball yet? You know, we want to empower them to believe that as long as they're taking good shots and as long as they're looking for one another, any shot is good. So we're gone. We're trying to score as quick as possible.
Hey, Coach, I got one for you. So a lot of these presses that I've been studying are trying to force the ball handler into a specific spot on the court, get an advantage on the trap, whether it be the coffin corner on the near baseline or one of the 4 mid-court corners. Have you found more success trying to push the ball handler to a certain spot on the court?
Our best success is when we keep the ball out of the middle. Sometimes we depending on the team and depending on our personnel, we can get jumps early. We can get jumps after half court late. So there hasn't necessarily been a specific spot on the floor other than trouble usually starts when we allow that ball to go to the middle of the floor. That's when something bad happens. Because now he's got decisions he can make on either side of the floor. But if we're able to keep it on the sideline, we feel pretty good about what we're able to do. Even if we don't steal it, we're able to at least guard it or control where the shot's coming from.
Hey, Coach Dix, which one gives you more trouble on a made basket? A team that on the make, they got a guy that gets it in quick and goes, or the team that takes a little more time? I have my theory, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
The guy that gets it out quick bothers us more than probably the guy who stands there and lets everybody get set. Now the great thing about him getting it out quick is they're playing the tempo we want to play, but we got that getting it in quick creates problems for our denial. So that's, I would say, the guy who's holding the ball and letting his guys get set and that kind of thing. He isn't in nearly as much trouble as the guy who grabs it quick and throws it in.
Hey, Coach, for your run and jump, can you speak on trapping a clear out, like when you're having the guys come? Because we have a couple of drills, but
yeah, we 2 things we may do. Okay, number one, if they continually clear us out, that's when we may go zone press and look at some 1-2, 1-1 and that kind of thing. Okay, but if they happen to and we've seen that, we'll see the clear out and everybody's down the floor. Well, we tell our guys to start cheating. So if I'm here, so I got defenders, the holes are the defenders, all right, and he clears everybody out and then he starts coming. Well, we start cheating, okay, all right, because we still want to look for the opportunity to jump. So we're certainly still going to go. This guy knows he's kind of on an island by himself, and obviously he's still got the same rules. He wants good ball pressure. He wants to keep the ball out of the middle of the floor. But we start cheating up the floor to look for an opportunity to jump. Yeah, and we'll see that. We'll see that. We'll see that a lot, actually. The other thing is if they set up in that, then we can really create a problem because we'll double the guy being inbounded. We'll put our safety on him and make that one guy have to work over and over again. And we've had instances where the pressure kind of takes its effect over the time. You know, that's the other thing. If you're not stealing it in the first quarter, but they're playing fast, then that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes the press takes its effect in the third and fourth quarter.
How tough is it to install this? I know when having East Hall, y'all did it all the time, but then going to a new situation, how tough was it the first year installing it and getting kids to buy in?
It was difficult the first year. I had a really inexperienced group the first year as far as how much they played. So they found it difficult. And we averaged creating about 20 turnovers that year and set a school record for charges. So we got some we made some progress out of it. This year we averaged 25.5 created turnovers, and then broke that charge record by getting to 90 something. So we had a little bit more. Our culture was a little bit better around it, so that made it easier to kind of put the press in. And I would say now that guys know it's us, they know it's us. And my first year, I remember the summer of my first year there. We were doing this during the summer, and a kid came out of the game, and he wound up not playing for us, but he said, you're asking us to play too hard and you sub too much. Those were his 2 words. Now, needless to say, that was kind of the end of his career. He wound up not playing for us, but that was kind of he just said what some of them probably were thinking, which probably wasn't good for him. It wasn't good for him. He didn't play. But that kind of mentality will get you quick. So now that our culture is better within our program, it's a whole lot easier to teach. This second year, we really started to see it evolve. And, like I said, I hope we have a season because we're pumped about what we think we got a chance to do this coming year. And our guys are already talking about it. They like I said, they're all in. They're all in now, and it's been fun to coach.
We don't get a lot of big kids, 6'5", 6'6" kids. Do you have a philosophy on shot blocking? I know when kids start reading the rotations, it's easier for them to take charges once they get over that initial fear. Do you have any kind of you tell them, hey, you better not block a shot if you're not a big guy or anything like that?
Yeah. We designate the guys who can go block shots, and this year we didn't designate anybody because we didn't have a shot blocker. So we told our guys, you got to draw a charge or you got to play position defense. And we had a couple of athletic kids make plays, up and down the floor. But I got an assistant coach who played running back at Pitt, and his job is to take that pad for about a month to start practice. He ran over every kid in our program every day. We just line them up, and he just runs through them, just like he's trying to go score a touchdown at Pitt. And after a while, they got over the fears, the ones who were scared, and it just kind of became who we are. And they started. I told them, if you draw charges in a game, you don't have to draw this charge in practice. And they into that, and like I said, it was good for us.
A quick question, if you don't mind, because you mentioned, Coach, about your subbing. Kid complained about subbing. How do you run that? Is it scripted, or do you kind of judge how it is? If he's tired, you take him out, or how do you?
Right. We made this deal with our guys years ago, and it's been good for us. We told them, if you tell us that you're tired and ask out of the game, when you're ready to go back, we will put you back in. And that became kind of our thing. So we didn't want guys playing until they were completely exhausted, because that's when you start giving up layups and that kind of thing unnecessarily. So our guys have got an understanding now that, well, if I know I'm about to get tired, I'll tell coach, and then he'll take me out. And then when I tell him I'm ready to go back in, then he'll put me back in. Now, if we take you out, go back in when we're ready for you to go back in. That's how we started doing it. Now, this year, I had a couple of guys who I left in a little bit longer, just because we needed them on the floor offensively. But yeah, we're still doing a lot of subbing 5 at a time. I do tell the parents that early in the year. So when we have our parent meeting, I say, look, there's going to be some times when you're going to see 5 guys come in and 5 guys go out, and that's going to happen regularly. So we tell our kids, if you got to play 30 minutes of the 32 minutes to feel like you're achieving, then this is probably not the place for you. But if you want to play 16 or 18 of the minutes and play a whole lot harder and give a lot of max effort, and it hasn't hurt recruitment. We show our kids players we've sent to Texas A&M and to to Georgia Tech and to Memphis and wherever. So they know that it's not going to hurt them from that standpoint. So they're, like I said, they're bought in now. They're bought in.
If you have kids are on the bench and say, I'm ready to go, but you have kids on the floor that aren't ready to come out because they're still going, how do you manage that?
The kids who went in know that if that guy asks out. The other thing is, if we're playing the way we're playing, this is what I early in the year to get their mindset right. I line them up on the baseline, and I have them run back and forth 6 times, down and back 6 times, and then I'll stop them, and I say, well, okay, how do you feel right now? And they say, well, I'm tired. Okay, I said, well, that's a game situation. Us ball up the floor and then getting back on defense and us pushing the ball up on the floor. I said, so don't tell me that you're not necessarily tired, not tired. So we try to instill that thing in them that they understand that, man, if I'm playing the way I'm supposed to be playing, I need out. And like I said, they've started to embrace it. It was difficult at first playing 7A basketball.
Sure.
Because they all think they got to be in the game for 30 minutes of the 32 minutes. But we've seen a change in that, and we had the county's leading scorer the year before last, and he was second this year. So they know they can still get numbers and that kind of thing, even if we're playing that way.